Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I compliment the previous speaker on his sartorial elegance. This budget is the budget of a government committed to creating a strong economy built on and led by sustainable growth and value-added exports, which will underpin jobs, create opportunities for all New Zealanders to realise their hopes, dreams and aspirations. This is a budget of a strong government, a courageous government, a government which believes in acknowledging and rewarding the pursuit of hard work and the pursuit of excellence, a perceptive government which understands that the positive can-do attitudes of every New Zealander are our edge in competing and ensuring our country's future success on the highly competitive global stage. This government is a standard-bearer for unlocking the potential that lies within the heart of every New Zealander. We are working relentlessly for every New Zealander to share a sense of purpose and a feeling of belonging. We have no time for the politics of envy. We will not rob Peter to pay Paul. What good is there for any of us? What good is there for any of us if Peter or Petra is a neurosurgeon, a skilled sparky, a committed, effective teacher, a nurturing nurse or a competent carpenter who decamps to Australia or further afield in pursuit of greener pastures? Mr. Speaker, John Key's National League government is principled, pragmatic and believes in creating a brighter future with all New Zealanders, for all New Zealanders, of all New Zealanders, right here in our homeland, Aotearoa, New Zealand. This budget, with its across-the-board tax cuts to help families get ahead and more money for education and health, will lift long-term economic growth, responsibly rein in past fiscal profligacy and massive public debt, and encourage better frontline public services. Mr. Chairman, this government's resolute decisiveness is a stark contrast to the looseness of the last late unlamented Labor administration. Administration which has been termed a group of loquacious lobbyists, only concerned for legislative languor, listlessness, lassitude and lethargy. A stark contrast to their cavilling caucus where their words hope, enterprise, ambition were heard as rarely as Mines and Lefroy at a temperance conference. However, one must give them their due. In some respects, they were virtual prestidigitateurs of fiscal policy, conjurers of economic underperformance. The maladministration of the late administration managed to parley the best economic conditions since World War II into year after year after year of decline in the performance of our tradable sectors, our exports, which are the drivers of our economy. They managed to turn, Mr. Chairman, the longest spell of global economic golden weather in modern memory into years of localised thunderstorms, hail, rain and sleet over the whole of New Zealand. They hamstrung our economy, the economy which underpins the quality of life of all New Zealanders, the economy which allows us to educate our young people, our economy which allows us to provide a world-class medical care for our sick and our injured, the economy which allows us to protect the most vulnerable. This dance of the desperate and dateless dispensed fiscal doom and despond through its blind adherence to a borrow and spend dogma. A remarkable record of failure, Mr. Chair, by the last government. How effective were their illiterate policies, economic policies, Mr. Chair? How effective were they? As effective as a paper-mache demolition ball. As effective as a one-legged man dancing the cha-cha. As effective, Mr. Chair, as an empty can of air freshener in an abattoir. The global economic framework is still fragile, and there may be some bumps ahead. But here in New Zealand, this government's efforts over the short time we have held the levers of power have seen the right sort of recovery, export-led rather than one based on the previous model of foreign-return profligacy.
I call Grant Roberts.